Hi Lisa, kannst du die Kamera zu mir?
Yep.
Hallo, hallo, kannst du uns hören?
Ja.
Hallo.
Ja, wir hören dich. Hörst du uns auch?
Ja, laut und deutlich.
Okay.
Servus miteinander.
Wunderbar. Dann werden wir jetzt beginnen. Wo ist noch die Fernbedienung für den Fernseher? Volumen ein bisschen. Hier ist sie. Okay, perfekt. So, herzlich willkommen, welcome. Ja, Tom, we are starting.
Tom, ja, som sagt.
Don't spring out of the window, please.
Ja, tam god piše. Drugače pa tudi od mesta Celovc, od Novega trga je post public Wi-Fi.
The charger. Would you? Okay.
Just slightly sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So. We're starting here.
Sorry.
Ja.
Jetzt soll ich das.
Ja, recorden kannst du glaube ich nicht, weil es voll ist, aber es wird ohnehin auf StreamYard aufgezeichnet. So, very warm welcome, herzlich willkommen, dobrodošli. We will speak in English, so as we have also guests who are it's the common language that we have here. The meeting today is the Austrian-Slovenian networking meeting for cross-border collaboration on cities, citizens, youth, climate action, and digital innovation. And the convening organization is our association, IAAI GloCha, which is a civil society organization, some kind of social enterprise, which is based here in Klagenfurt. I have been born here in Klagenfurt as the founder and CEO of this organization, and it's really the place where it's my origins and also my future. And so this organization, IAI, is accredited to the United Nations, and it has the task to inspire and empower citizens and youth to take action for the local and global common good in the context of United Nations goals and programs. And our key pillars are culture, technology, and organizational innovation. And these topics, the overall aim is to build the data and digital innovation ecosystem and the tools for citizens and youth climate action empowerment. We have the vision for big global challenges, research, technology development, innovation, higher education, and cultural encounter center here in Klagenfurt. And the other vision or overall aim is that we develop app which will be on everyone's mobile devices and will help people to make the right decisions for the planet and for people and for individual well-being. And for us, it's very important that we connect with the program of EU mission cities, because as all of you know, these are these cities which have applied to the European Union to be recognized and supported in its endeavor to reach climate neutrality by the year 2030. And there are 112 mission cities in 35 countries. And Klagenfurt is one of these, it's the only EU mission city in Austria. And in Slovenia, we have Velenje, Kranj, and Ljubljana. And the aim and the logic of today's event is that we see how we can work together, how these EU mission cities in our region can make connections between one another, and how our organization can provide services and support and tools which will help these cities to deliver better results. We've had a first meeting on the 19th of January, and from that, well, today is the second meeting, and the idea is that
I think we lost them. Yes, Lisa? Do you hear them?
No. No, okay, so.
Ah, yeah.
yeah, and
Hello, hello.
you can you have to check again and again pressing this button, because
It goes to sleep.
the car it goes to sleep because
Yes.
It's not recorded.
Charger.
store is full. Yeah, so anyway, we want to have this cooperation framework, some kind of leadership of these Slovenian and Austrian mission cities, and develop the right tools. And we have also our friends in Climate Kick. We will hear later about from Lisa and from Barbara what their specific role is in the EU Mission Cities program. It's really wonderful that you are open for cooperation with us. Now, we've had, after the first meeting, we have collaborated with the city of Klagenfurt and with the city of Velenje and Probit. It's an IT company from Slovenia, Tadej and Peter from this group. We've submitted an INTERREG project on the development of a Citizens Climate Action app, which would help to engage citizens in the city level climate neutrality efforts, and document the individual efforts with the help of blockchain technology. Our part was in that application also to organize a city-level digital art for climate program and a festival. And despite the fact that the initial application was not successful, we are determined to continue working on these topics, and today's meeting shall help us there. We have this program, Digital Art for Climate, which is a very successful program. We have been featured with our winners 2 years ago from the COP26 edition on CNN Philippines. We have been on the Wall Street Journal. So media loves us, artists love us, youth love us, and we want to bring this now also to the cities here in our region. And to our offer, will come later, is that we have cities level digital art for climate programs, and we have a multidisciplinary team. Tom, Melissa, Olena are here, and we have also experts, local experts here, like Walter, who is a cultural manager in Klagenfurt. Vladimir has business expertise, and our friends in Slovenia, IT competence, educational competence, today technology, social entrepreneurship. Borut is an expert in virtual reality experiences and kinds of communication. Barbara, Climate Kick Slovenia, and Georg Eichler from Frankfurt is also project management and making the connection to the cities. So we have already expertise in tools development. We have Hossein Hassani on the call here virtually as well, who is our data and technology lead in IAAI, and he's leading the task of developing a citizens app for challenges mapping for data collection about just energy transition challenges and action opportunities. And it's already an app that is working, and this we can develop further for the cities and with the cities here in the region. Our offer a city-level digital art for climate art competition, and it will help to inspire the population of the participating cities with beautiful artwork. It will help to mobilize the creative community, the youth, that they become more aware of the climate neutrality efforts of the participating cities, and then also contribute their artwork. And in the next phase, we will also develop fundraising mechanisms for the cities. That's the logic of the Digital Art for Climate program, that from the artworks and from climate action stories, and if we create digital assets, digital collectibles, which are then sold to the citizens of the participating program and to the global audience. Another key opportunity and offer that we have is that we have at this year's climate conference, which will be from the 30th of November till the 12th of December, we have our own pavilion. We have the Digital Innovation Pavilion, 40 square meters. We have the accreditation, so we can bring people into the heart of global climate governance. And this will be a very big event, the biggest event that probably has ever happened on global climate efforts. The UAE government says they want to have around 70,000 people coming to Dubai. And we have there these opportunities in the blue zone in the process. We have the opportunities with Slovenia, because Slovenia has at the Expo City Areal, where the COP is going to take place, Slovenia has still its national pavilion. It's a beautiful space with seminar rooms and exhibition facilities. So we can have also their programs for the cities to present to globally. And then we have also the possibility to present this cooperation in the United Nations context in September in New York. My organization is collaborating with UN Habitat, the youth program, and with them we have an exhibit space at the UN headquarters, and we have a 2-day conference. And again, the opportunity for the cities, the EU mission cities here, to come with us and to learn about global connections, global landscape, and to present themselves. And the idea is that we create a community through the programs that we develop here, that the cities, its the citizens and city leaders will have a sense of community coming together once per year at a Global Challenges Co-Creation Festival, where we will then present the highlights from the art competition, and also have games between the participating cities, and stories and other media things. So our expectation or our plan would be that we aim to have an MOU with Klagenfurt and with the EU mission cities in Slovenia, and we would there in the MOU say we are planning to collaborate together on these programs for citizens and youth climate action empowerment. In the first round with this Digital Art for Climate initiative, and that the cities will participate and promote the competition on the city level, that there will be city level winners, and that there will be exhibitions. And the expectations is that the cities connect us with their artists and creators, with the climate action communities, with youth networks, schools in the cities, identify potential sponsors where we could ask for funding for these programs, because we are aware that cities usually don't have a lot of funding, at least for Klagenfurt. I know that there is no direct funding possibility. Yeah, and then we would together organize this annual gathering for our citizens, for our artists, for our youth, and to come together and celebrate climate action. This is a little bit of an introduction from my side, and now I would suggest we make a very brief introduction, name, institution, and one sentence about why this cross-border cooperation makes sense or does not make sense. Name, institution, and one thought about the cross-border cooperation potentials. Peter.
My name is Peter Žudel. I represent ProBeat company from Slovenska Konica. And over the past few years, I managed projects that relate to blockchain and traceability of different certifications based on that. Some of those include work and skill, where we provide certification or verification of credentials. Currently, we're working with a technological company that develops, creates batteries, where we are both identifying the battery and then identifying it through the life cycle. In our cooperation here would be in terms of providing the sort of layer in between blockchain and application, or to the whole application itself, whatever is needed, to be able to trace the activities of participants on the platform, and then be able to exchange that for any sort of benefits that will be available on the platform.
Thank you. Gary.
Hi, my name is Eric Kapfer. I come from Pattern City, which is situated in Lithuania, which is also one of the Green Mission cities. Pattern City's ecosystem laboratory actually for developing new methodologies for education. We have approximately 10,000 kids from 6 years up per year, and we are very interested in also in education about climate change. So what we do is we also provide interactive installations and interactive educational paths. So I think that could be very helpful with this project.
Wonderful.
Hello, my name is Tadej Slapnik. I'm director of Ashred company. It's Slovenian located blockchain infrastructure providing company. That we are proud that we are the first country in the world, together with the national telecom provider Telemark, to set up the national blockchain infrastructure, providing blockchain as a service solutions for public and private entities. In the parallel, I'm quite engaged in the European Blockchain Observatory Forum activities as an expert, also on UN level as an expert for blockchain technologies at the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. But I'm also co-founder of World Metaverse Council, global network of various stakeholders engaged in building open, inclusive, and democratic metaverse. Last year, as Miroslav explained, we were collaborating with GloCha and also Slovenia Ministry, company Riba, to set up the first metaverse for COP conference last year in Egypt. Now we are preparing with much more included and engaged organization, the Meta COP 28 for the Dubai edition of COP conference. So we are, of course, combining this cross-border collaboration between Slovenia and Austria and scaling up also on a global scale. Thank you.
My name is Borut Solčan. I'm coming from Riba XR. The company specializing in developing virtual reality applications. So we, as already today mentioned, last year we launched MetaCop 27. This was a kind of pilot project. And we also executed a side event of COP27 in Metaverse. We also made together with Miro a virtual gallery for digital art for climate. And I personally, I think it's this kind of cross-border cooperation is necessary for thema like climate change actions and so on. And I also think, convinced actually, that new technologies, Web3, virtual reality can contribute a lot to this positive movement.
Bravo. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wörthersee. I work at now IAAI. Before I worked at the Slovenian government on climate change. I attended many COPs, first one in 2014 in Lima, Peru, and also last year in Egypt. So I remember hearing about this metaverse, but I remember also that people said that not many people actually attended this virtual COP, but I thought that it's a great idea because I've seen through the years that COPs are growing bigger, but not on the negotiation side, but on the side of, as Miro said, this blue zone and this side events side, basically. It's just becoming a huge festival of all there is in climate sphere. It's not that much about negotiations. Well, when I was there as part of national delegation and also as part of Slovenian presidency of the Council of the EU, we kind of led the EU negotiations on basically on the negotiation texts. So this is kind of different stories. These are kind of, and I believe that this year will be the biggest because last year was already the biggest and every year is the biggest. It was 50,000 people last year, which is quite a lot. But otherwise, now at EIT Climate Kick, we are working with the Slovenian government on a project called the Big Demonstration. It's a very unique systems innovation project that aims at providing methods and solutions for Slovenian government and its ecosystem to become climate neutral circular economy. We are, as Climate Kick, we are also supporting the two missions in climate sphere, so Resilient Region and NetZeroCities. We are actually aiming to establish a platform for Slovenian cities that would actually connect these cities along with other cities in Slovenia to help them exchange good practices, etc. So we have lots of different projects, but in short, I'm very happy to be here, and I see a lot of potential in working further on with you on a city level, mostly.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Lisa will then also, after we have the round here, Lisa Lang will also add the perspectives from EU Climate Kick and our Memorandum of Understanding, and we are really, I'm a great fan of Climate Kick, so I'm happy that we are working together. Yeah, and I'm also a fan of Klagenfurt, of course. Happy to have you here.
Yes, my name is Georg Eichler, City of Klagenfurt. Together with my colleague, I'm responsible for Klagenfurt's participation in the EU Cities mission, also responsible for the just opened Smart Climate Lab, just around the corner in the Bahnhofstraße 19. And yes, basically we develop and try to implement projects assuring that we achieve the challenging but doable before I worked for the University of Klagenfurt. There I was a project manager for INTERREG projects together with Italian, Austrian INTERREG projects. And I think international cooperation is important, as we often have very similar challenges, especially here in the neighboring countries, but there might be different approaches to tackle them, to solve the issues, and there's always large potential to learn from each other.
Wonderful. Thank you for having accepted our invitation. Melissa.
Hi. So, hi everybody. Again, my name is Melissa Jimenez. I come from Mexico. I am a planetary health scientist. I am also a master's in sustainable resource management. What else? I've been trying to let people know about this interrelationship between the climate and our health and the health of the whole planet. I have also been able to attend 3 COPs, 2 as an observer last year as a part of the Mexican delegation, trying to be more involved on how the policies are made, and especially making sure that health is taken in mind, that health is at the core of the negotiations, because it's an important issue for everybody. And with Miro, right now, what I'm working on is trying to fight eco-anxiety, which is part of a mental health problem that is worldwide at the moment, and it's growing bigger as the climate crisis grows bigger. So we're trying to find solutions, and what a most beautiful way to do it, through art. So yeah, I'm here to collaborate, and thank you all.
Olena.
Hello, my name is Olena. I'm from Ukraine. I'm a specialist in public relations and communication. And I think my skills in public relations and journalism can helpful for all projects our association here on our team would like to improve.
Thank you. Walter.
Hello. Hello, I'm Walter Ratschko, and IT expert for 35 years. I have arranged my first cultural event 30 years ago. I know the Global Challenge Action Network for now 20 years, I think, when we founded it. And I'm a GDPR expert for nearly 10 years now. So I'm very interested to get that line up today.
Bravo. Tom?
Hello, my name is Tom. I'm a community builder, artist relationship manager in the Web3 ecosystem. I work in a company called Bueno. It's a platform which allows artists and creators to use no-code tools to create a smart contract and NFT collections for making digital collectibles. So I'm here in this team in order to provide and help with all my knowledge in the Web3 ecosystem and with the Bueno platform to create and mint art.
Super. Vladimir.
Hello, I'm Vladimir. I'm the brother of Miro. I'm a big fan of what he's doing, of all what you are doing, all this project, because I wish that our children and grandchildren will live in a healthy world and can enjoy it in the next many hundred years. I'm the CEO of the company Best Connect. We are pooling small, medium-sized companies in the field of electric power and natural gas. We are doing this in Austria and Slovenia, around about 50,000 customers. We call them members. But the idea here is not to cooperate with the company, but support the team. My experience in the fields of economy and project management, if necessary.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm very happy that you came and that everybody came, because I'm working on these programs already for quite some time. and it's not really taking off on the scale and in the speed that is needed. We've had here our flood, which has been termed apocalyptic, as especially the Slovenian colleagues well know. And we need to be more effective in these kind of things, and it is all about cooperation. So I'm very happy to have Vladimir here with business expertise and hands-on expertise. I'm the one who is more the vision holder, somehow envisioning and dreaming about what can be done, but we have really to get to action and to impact, and this on a very large scale. We have here we're building an ecosystem now with and for these cities in the region, but in the end, our aim is to develop some kind of United Nations system for non-state actors, in which cities play a very important role, because the cities are the governance level which is closest to the citizens and to the natural resources that our lives depend on, and therefore, we are here to get things done. And a key partner that I'm very proud of having with us is Lisa Lang, Force of Nature, who we have met last year at the United Nations Climate Conference COP27, and now we have our relationship formalized with the MOU, and now full speed onwards. Let's set up the systems that will be transformative and that will equip everyone with resources who is doing good things for the climate and for the people. Lisa, please, some words from your side. How is your knee? Is it good?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm actually calling you from the room from my doctor. That's why I put the virtual background on. I hope it doesn't delay the system too much, but yeah, so I'm still walking and I can still run and outrun especially. So thank you for asking. Yeah, so sorry that I can't attend in person, but I'm a little bit handicapped at the moment, but still the spirits are high. My name is Lisa Lang. I'm the Policy Director for EU Affairs for Climate Kick. That's my official title. I think my unofficial title is I'm a system hacker. My job is in the fight against climate change to find impact vehicles and define strategies on how to be very resourceful with what we have, current industries, and reconnecting in a different way, which makes us utterly powerful. And one of those system hacks is the culture creative community together with the climate change community, because as Miro knows, is that one of the biggest issues we have at the United Nations is that people panic because we are not too fast enough. They run out of ideas. And there is now a realization, we had that in Bonn at the last meeting with UNFCCC. It's like, we realized that money and technology is not on its own, it's not gonna cut it. So you look in people's eyes and faces in utter panic, who don't know what to do and also don't want to admit that they don't know what to do. Plus a little bit of political ego, I guess. I mean, imagine if we would get over that ego and silos. But so there's a level of desperation now in the climate change community where they're even prepared to talk and work with designers and artists. Imagine. That is the world in which we are in. I think it's utterly exciting. Besides that, of course, we also should be shit scared because the world is going down. But we are in the age of the new rise of the creative class. I'm not saying that because I just happen to have a art background, but also I have a software engineering background and a business background. So I'm as excited about digital technologies as I'm excited about new economy. It's simply just that we are in an unprecedented time where we have the possibility to mechanically bring culture creative industries into our climate change community. And we have a fresh canvas, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. That is where we are at. And I'm so glad with GloCha and with the Digital Arts for Climate, we started to make the first paintbrushes at COP last year with running the first culture and creative track day on the official innovation pavilion's agenda. That never happened before. And we did it. So we will do it again, bigger and with more friends. So I'm really excited to meet you all. I hope also in person. I can continue for 10 hours, so maybe see it as advantages that I'm not here for person because you can just close the laptop. Yeah, it's just, and I know Barbara, my dear colleague from Climate Kick, we are always locked into a certain system, a certain way of how we have things done. But that time has to simply be over, and we are the first generation who has to break the mold, not only for our children and children's children, also for Mother Earth. And yes, okay, that means this is going to be painful, people. This is going to be painful. But that is what innovation takes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Lisa, and one quick question in terms of our cooperation. Our plan is that we develop now here a model for citizens' engagement and youth engagement in EU mission cities programs through digital art for climate and using NFT solutions for resource mobilization for these climate projects in cities. Do you think that we could, through Climate Kick, then bring these solutions also to other EU mission cities and NetZeroCities?
So of course I can't, don't record this and you see this as a digital signature. See, this is like where I'm a little bit too much into policy because, being careful of commitments. So the answer, there's an emotional, a mechanical, and answer to it. Emotionally, of course, because it totally makes sense. I mean, since Climate Kick is leading one of the world's biggest cities program called NetZeroCities, and that is actually what we are supposed to do: connect all of the cities and coming up with great ideas which are scalable, which can be used across all of the cities. So from a mechanical perspective, yes, absolutely, we should do this. However, to actually really do this, meaning legally, commitment-wise, also I know that Kirsten, our wonderful CEO of Climate Kick, is supporting our cause. However, also, of course, with a huge project like this, it comes with a certain kind of complexity. Did I mention this kind of ego thing also? It travels with you all the time. That's it's everywhere. So at that moment, I would love to have comedians traveling with me because I think we are delivering in climate change policy, we are delivering a lot of stand-up comedy material sometimes. Humor is a very good remedy, especially for mental health. That is a really interesting topic, especially. I loved what you said is art is healing. So that's really important. So you see, I'm in policy, very long answer. Short answer is yes, of course, it totally makes sense. Let's look into the fine print.
Okay, we will look into the fine print. And yeah, so let me, Domen Grudnik, I see here also is online. I think, Domen, that you are from the city of Slovenia. Ga poznate? Yeah. Domen, would you like to say a few words, introduce yourself, your city? No, if not, we have also colleagues from Ljubljana. We have a friend there, Blaž Golob. He sent us a video in a certain orientation, which is not optimal, you will see, but you will still
I'm working for Ljubljana Forum and GFS Institute. It's really my great pleasure to share with you the thoughts and good wishes for today's meeting organized by Miro in Klagenfurt. Let me tell you that Ljubljana Forum that will take place in October 5th and 6th will discuss about the topic that you will also discuss today at your forum. Namely, also very important to mention is that 3 cities, Ljubljana, Kranj and Velenje, are part of the EU project Carbon Mission by 2030, and this project and all these cities will be presented at Ljubljana Forum. Let me say that IAAI organization that was organized in 2007 by Miro Polzer, Jerome Glenn and also myself really contributed to the social innovation of improvement of cities and climate change. So with this innovative approach, I wish you all success in your gathering in Klagenfurt and looking forward to see you in
Okay. What is he looking for? Just a second. No. And anyway, it is the invitation for us to come to the Ljubljana Forum, which is a big regional conference about the future of cities. It will be between the 5th and on the 5th and 6th of October. And we have discussed with Blaž that we can have a workshop there about citizens' climate action apps. Because as I told you, I believe this is one of the key solutions that we have to develop in order to be able to connect with the citizens and with the young people and to guide them and channel resources to them and getting data from them. And we will have a workshop at the Ljubljana Forum about citizens' climate action apps to which we will invite cities from all over Europe and especially those cities that the Ljubljana Forum is working with, because it's something that is everywhere. Every city needs, if they are thinking strategically, how can I deliver better results? You have to have a communication channel with your citizens, and their digital tools, digital apps are the best choice. And so we are going to have a workshop, inviting everyone, making a call for expressions of interest to participate, that we then cities who have already solutions or companies who have solutions will come and present existing solutions, and that we will from there then we'll look at what needs to be still to be developed, and then we will look how in the cooperation of cities and our cross-border cooperation framework, how we can develop projects and find funding for it. So this will be in October, and that's somehow the introduction. But talking about apps, of course. Hossein, would you like to say a few words about our work on app development, challenges mapping, please?
Sure. Good afternoon, colleague. It's a great pleasure to be with you and share with you couple of perhaps good news if you would like to hear about the app. I hope that you can hear me very well.
Yes, it's fine.
Well, in addition to what Lisa said as a problem and issue that we have, we cannot speed the global challenge and the issues surrounding it. I would like to add a factor that we are currently tackling is, as she kindly mentioned, the problem and the solution detected, and the order comes from top to down, and the down is a citizen that needs to tackle. We are developing an app for the first time that to tackle the situation that we have. This app collects the information, data in a form of solution and the problem that the citizen can see in the city. Imagine that you have a problem, climate change problem, or any kind of related problem in your region, area, and city, and you would like to report it to authority individually or to have a support collectively with the neighborhood. Neighborhood could be your street, could be the neighbor, could be the city or region, to the authority in order to tackle. By doing this, your voice has been heard by them. You can follow the action of the authority and the effectiveness of the action as well, and the response to your query as a citizen and the taxpayer. This is our right to know, apart from the all other right that we have. So this kind of app we are developing now. We are part of the INTERREG project. The app will be employed by 12 partners in EU, one of which is the country that we are living in, Austria, and also the neighboring country, Slovenia, as well. So it will be applied and employed by others as well as part of this app. But also I would like to mention this app can be added to other things as well and be expanded for other application as well, because it's kind of reporting mechanism for the citizen to the authority. So we are bridging this gap between the citizen and the authority at the higher level with the help of this app. I hope that we can contribute to this challenging issue, as the app is called Global Challenge Issue or Report, as part of the IAAI. And again, this is one of the factors that, in addition to the factor that Lisa kindly mentioned. So we are, rather than top-down approach, we are developing an app to look at the bottom-up approach. So the citizen, for the first time, they can participate in the solution, in the decision-making, and they can trace this. We are talking about tokenization, we are talking about engagements of citizens, and to me, other colleague as well mentioned, and our colleague Lisa mentioned why we cannot see the speed, because we are the one should do this, but rather than we should be part of decision or solution, we are just getting from top. That's why we do not see them. By culture, by the art, by incentive action that my colleague Miro and Tom will mention, tokenization or being incentive, we can move this better than this. I hope that this app and your support can speed up the solution that we need. Thank you, Miro.
Thank you very much, Hossein. Thanks also for the great work that you're doing. And perhaps just, I don't know if we will be able to see it on the camera. It's here that we have our IAAI app. So I was really very happy to see that where are we here? We are IAAI app. And guest login and with maps and where we can then describe challenges and also submit action proposals. It's the first steps, but for me, as I'm dreaming of my app, this was really a very happy moment that we've been able to do it. And Hossein, as he is a famous scientist, has worked, is one of the top 1% scientists in the world according to certain rankings, and has very good connections with universities in Australia and in the UK. And these universities are helping us also to develop these tools. And great thanks also to RMIT, Mahdi, and to Sefa in the UK, who are helping us developing these solutions. So again, to repeat, we have certain assets. Our organization is on the global level as regards the United Nations program, United Nations conferences. We are a big player. And also Digital Art for Climate is, as I said, it was on CNN, Wall Street Journal. We've been on Tokyo in the Shibuya Square, on the big billboards and everything. So globally, it is something. But locally, we are quite disconnected. And we have therefore these meetings that we are calling again and again, that we want to be successful here. We want to connect and to help cities like Klagenfurt to be more effective in its climate efforts. We want the creative community to connect with the climate efforts of the city, but also to be part of the global community in which we are operating, and also the Slovenian cities. Perhaps also background information to myself. First, I'm a Corinthian Slovene, so my mother tongue is Slovenian, but I'm Austrian citizen, born here in Klagenfurt. And so I have it already in the DNA that I want Austria and Slovenia to be working in a friendly and prosperous relation together. And the other point is I've worked in Slovenia for 16 years as the head of the Austrian Science and Research Liaison Office on behalf of the Austrian Ministry of Science. So it's part of my professional life, part of my way of thinking, that I love to facilitate this kind of cooperation. And the climate topic is one of the biggest and highest challenges, but also the biggest potential for solution and for economic well-being, and also digitalization is the other big topic. So and cities, urbanization. So we are really on a very, very hot topic. So we should be able to succeed to set up projects that will receive funding, that will deliver action and impact. And therefore now the next slide that we have, our offer. Do you think we can implement these Digital Art for Climate city level calls for artists, call for submissions, and then having exhibitions also in these participating cities, and then that these cities are pioneer cities in our GloCha Co-Creation Festival, where we will bring these communities together. Do you think that this kind of thinking makes sense? And if yes, who has suggestions on how we could proceed, how we could implement this, where we could get funding from? That's my question to an open discussion around. Barbara?
I can maybe say that I know about one project that was supported by INTERREG and led by, I think, development center of Posvočje. I don't know if you know this institution. So they basically did this kind of project on involving citizens, and also developed all kinds of tools alongside. And yeah, it's possible to have this kind of project funded by INTERREG project. You just have to find the right call, because I know Slovenia is in 4 or 5 different interregs because we're at the crossroads of so many different regions, EU regions. There is this Danube region, Alpine space, Pannonian, Ionian region, and I think Central Europe as well. So we have lots of calls to follow up, and you can to different programs you can apply this kind of projects. Otherwise, when you mentioned MTFs, I know that Klan is working with this. Do you know about this smart city?
I have no details, but Blage is also connected with them. And Tadej, are you also connected with Klan?
Yeah, I was at the Energy Days in Wörthersee earlier this year in April, and they presented how are they doing. They're actually smart city establishing in one part of the city, Mlake.
Yeah.
And they are basically, this whole part of the city is a smart region, and which means that all kind of citizens there are equipped with all kinds of data following of their activities, and they also get these cards on which they collect MTFs, and with them, if they behave well, if they save water, etc., they can get rewards in public utility companies, for example, etc. So this whole idea is was very developed. But from what I heard, this guy who was developing that said recently, I don't know about it. So, anyways, maybe to check something because they are quite advanced in this field.
Super. And the company Rico is leading this from what I see here. Rico and Elektrovelenska, Iskra, Emeco. Because Iskra, Emeco, they have been also exhibiting at our Digital Innovation Pavilion last year. So we could connect with them. Yeah, thank you very much for this valuable suggestion. Bravo.
Miro?
Yes, please.
I have one actually open call to share where potentials to include the activities explained. Definitely, I see. It's an open call of the European Commission for the proposals to build the framework for so-called Cityverse. It's an initiative of European Commission to found some 3 to 5 projects building the basic framework for the cities to develop interoperable metaverses. They use also terms metaverse or digital twins. But this is kind of first step, but all the activities and how to engage citizens, how to utilize the possibilities of digital twin of the city in the digital space, in the real day activities go in line with the open call. Here, you were already, I think, invited with GloCha, but we are now preparing for this open call for 2 months already. The deadline is 26th of September. But how we are coordinating the application, it's coordinated by the World Metaverse Council, that we are aiming to have at least one capital city from the involved countries. Now we have 5 to 7 potential countries already in pipeline, but also some cities like Velenia, like Klagenfurt, who are active on the field of fighting climate change, because in the application we will be focusing on some of the particular solutions, how with metaverse and connected activities, also solutions with NFTs, as I mentioned, incentivizing people will be implemented. So here it's a potential for collaboration. We are really trying to close the group of partners until the end of this month. We started with writing down the application, and I have 3 documents that I can share with you. We are allowed to share with others. It's one basic explanation about the concept of our application, 2 PowerPoints about it, and in one PowerPoint it's connected with the focus points and the open corridor to share with us. So here it will be budget of 5 million euros for the project, and 50% of it will be co-financed by the European Commission. Yeah, this is what I wanted to share, and of course we can discuss it also afterwards, the concrete potential collaboration.
Thank you very much. I've seen that Hossein has written that he has worked on this kind of projects. Hossein, what are your thoughts? What we could do? You think IAI could be part of the program? We have the challenge then of the co-financing.
Yeah, if that's I leave it the challenge of co-financing. I leave it to you good still, but with the colleagues to help and support us. But in terms of the knowledge and the know-how, how we can do it, our organization can support significantly. I was in charge of the one digital twin project. In fact, as you can see from my LinkedIn and the project, one of my specialty in digital twins. And in fact, I would like to mention that I have a publication on digital twin as well for the SDG, not only for the city, for whole 17 goals of SDG. And in my view, the future is in 2-3 years' time is digital twin, because the AI fix it with the data in order to be applicable in a virtual situation. We call it currently, we are employing the metaverse, but in fact, we are moving to digital twin version in order to be more efficient in various aspects, and in order to have a better life and for the better society as well. So here we can support you significantly, and the backbone of this, if I may ask, do we have an organization or someone that can help us in terms of the data? Because data access is one of the key issue here that we need to have. Here we can come in as well, because we have a tool. We can come in and say we collect the real-time data from the participant in order to tackle this as well. But at the same time, we should have other data in order to make the digital twin. So that's the question back to you. So from our side, we can help by using the app, developing the app in such a way that we can gather the data, as I mentioned, in the data reporting mechanism that we are developing. And the second is the know-how, how we can do it. But then I have two questions on here from our side. Is one, co-funding that Miro mentioned, is colleague that can help. And the second is you might have a data source that, I mean, the organization or some part of the city that they can give us a little bit more data in order to train the model.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we will discuss this further. And one other option potentially for this program was mentioned by Walter, the Corinthian Cultural Foundation. Can you say something about it? Do you know who is the founder of it?
Who are the cooperation partners and so on. It was founded from several people of the Corinthian community, especially Kira Kohl, which was the CEO of Infineon, and Adolf Rausch, who is the chancellor of in the area of Stiftungen, of foundations in Austria, and they are working for. On the one side, if you go one side paper too, you have seen all the artists who was participated in the last 2 years.
I didn't see. Stop the project. Is it this one?
No.
Here, yeah.
Here you see it. It's really the best of the not only the Corinthian artists, but also several Slovenian or Serbian artists who are living in Carinthia, who were here in one project where they have made a double CD of music out of this through to several branches of music, from jazz to classic to Volksmusik.
Yeah, because I think that this Kulturstiftung could be potentially interested in supporting the city-level digital art for climate program and the co-creation festival next year.
If we go to the second of the call, just have a look if they write about the next project.
Okay, good.
No,
so it's
it was there from the last year. It was under the name of Culture and Democracy. And the next one they are planning is have the meta text culture and electronic. Put a little bit in the area of Ars Electronica, like
okay, then our digital art initiative could perhaps fit quite nicely.
Yeah.
Super.
I think the call comes in the next week.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And may I ask now particular Mr. Eitler, das Kabel dreht sich auf, ist vielleicht besser in die andere Richtung zu bringen.
Einmal anderswo.
With potentials, programs, stakeholders here in Klagenfurt is very important, very valuable, and I'm very happy that you are here today. So what are your thoughts when you hear about these ideas? Do you see potentials in the city, emergence of programs where we could connect to or connect existence of resources, funds where we could connect to?
I mean, funds we always need, that's for sure. The thing is, for the EU cities mission, obviously also as the Slovenian cities have to do is to submit the climate city contract. So now when we develop and implement projects, we always try to focus how it connects to our project suggestions that we submitted in the climate city contract, which we submitted in April this year and is now at the European Commission under evaluation. So yeah, we should really see how this matches, and yeah, I think that's we should sit together as a team probably and see to which our fields it suits best. We are basically focusing on 17 key measures to achieve climate neutrality. Those 17 key measures are partly direct climate actions and partly compensation measures. And yeah, so it's just a question if and how it can fit to basically these 17 key fields. I think this is really important for us.
We have citizens engagement as one of the themes. I think it was accompanying measures or so.
Exactly what I wanted to actually suggest is that we are not talking about enough about citizen engagement, about citizen science, about how to actually implement this in the society. So when we have projects, of course we have projects, then we have development projects, we have companies, we have these IT solutions, digital twins, but if people don't accept that, it's not useful.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you.
This is what we are asking ourselves.
The challenge is just for the EU cities mission. You really have to show how it reduces greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, of course.
And it's quite challenging to measure the impact of it, at least in the short term.
Yeah.
In the long term, it might get easier to measure it, but in the short term, it's quite challenging to measure how citizen engagement reduces greenhouse gas emissions.
I absolutely agree.
If I can just add something, the NetZeroCities project that is carried by Climate Kick is supporting cities right now in developing a model, economic model that shows how much of finances need to be employed by the citizens and by the companies and others. So I just checked. I didn't see your city included in that model.
No, because we submitted, we were like one of the first cities submitting it, and the model did not exist in Spain.
That's right. But now you have the opportunity to join, and you will be able to see like how little actually the city can do without the support of the citizens. And that's why then, when you have the budget and you see that, actually like 80% of all the investments needs to be done by, citizens themselves, then you are starting thinking about the tools for them to engage in. And
actually, in this context, I wanted to suggest, my personal experience is that after, 15 years of applying for EU projects and these funds and stuff like that, the thing is that projects come, you apply, you finish it, and then they are forgotten, But I remember a couple of really good ones, actually, and one of them is Organicity, which was part of, it was a lighthouse project. It was part of FP6, so the previous founding period, and it was about the beginning and sort of low-tech digital twin, and actually engaging the citizens how to be part of the development of smart city. And they developed actually really good tools and frameworks how to engage. You have like guidelines, guidebooks, manuals, questionnaires, all sorts of tools that you can actually just download and use. So that would be actually my suggestion, not to try to invent every single time new things. Let's find something which has been developed already. And I would say that's sustainable. We are trying to talk about sustainability, and this would be a really good approach. So first, not try to find money.
Was it this one? Organicity.
Organicity.
Yeah, co-creating smart cities.
Yeah, exactly. And it was actually a really, really good project. And you have also IT tools. Open source tools. You have platforms that you can actually already use. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, excellent suggestion. And what's also what I would like to share also is this thing, Patreon, because that's one mechanism where I think that our cities could benefit from. I don't know now with this sharing thing. You can point it there, then people will have it. So it's our digital art for climate partner from Nairobi, UN Habitat Youth Program. They have said that they are using this as a platform for that. They are working with young artists. And because it's difficult to sell art or whatever, to have a living out of it, this concept of the platform is that the artists create a fan base, a membership base, and the membership base is paying each month, let's say $5 or something like that. And so it's a recurring membership fee subscription, and the artist commits to create content to which the members have exclusive or early access. And so now what we are planning to do with GloCha Digital Art for Climate is that we will give the cities the tools that they would have a membership base of people who are supporting climate action and the creative community, which is producing artwork themed around climate and the future and sustainable development, that the citizens would contribute. And that there would be a Patreon page for Klagenfurt, Patreon page for Vilnius, Patreon page for Cannes and Ljubljana. And then the creators, the artists from the cities would produce artwork from which then the members, the subscribers, those who pay monthly, would be able to mint digital collectibles, NFTs, that they would then be able to say, I have supported my action, and this artwork is a certificate that is showing that I have been one of the supporters, or they get it because they love the beauty of the artwork. And these teams, so to say, that are Patreon for all the cities, they come at a certain time in the year. My suggestion now is first week of June. They come together to the co-creation festival, and we organize their games and different kinds of exchanges, competitions, and everything. And so that the citizens would also have the feeling that they are, by paying these monthly fees, they are investing in their team, which will then at the festival be more successful, win in more categories. And this kind of thinking I have, that this could be the mechanism that we get money from the citizens in a recurring manner. Of course, we have the artists and the climate action community, they have to create the stories so that those who pay would have the feeling, yes, there's something going on, there's social energy, momentum, and inspiration. And I'm happy to be a part of this vivid community. So, but I think that this kind of system could work. That's the hypothesis here, that if we do things right, the citizens and the artists and the youth, they will be happy to support, to work together on the city level, and then compete, so to say, and compare with other cities at the festival.
I completely agree. I mean, it's a really good idea how to approach that. What I see as a, let's say, obstacle that will definitely appear is that each and every city has different way of engaging their people. So cities will have to figure out their own way how to motivate their citizens to actually support that.
Yeah.
You know, let's say if you are from an industrial city, like I am, people are not used to pay for just something, you know, just something. You know, yeah. Let's say in Vilnius, culture is for free. Yeah. So all the events are for free. If you organize a concert that you will have to pay, people will not come. Okay? Mm-hmm. So we are not used to pay for art.
Okay.
So, you know, so we have to figure out, that's why I suggested before Organicity project, to check it out a little bit, how you can engage your citizens in different ways. You know, but this has to be sort of a period where we will have to you know, measure a little bit what works and what not. You know, try also different ways, different approaches, different tools, different methods. And we can't expect that each and every city this will work. Definitely won't, you know. Exactly because I come from the city where everything is for free. You know, our public transport is for free. Culture is for free. You know, so when you have a living environment like that, then you are not used to participate, you know, in these kind of actions, especially not with money, you know. So we have to figure out how to motivate, or maybe we can expand this digital for art, you know, this art, what art means. So art in context of climate change can mean a lot of different things, you know, so have artistic approach in showing the solutions, you know, so
storytelling,
maybe, exactly, so maybe motivate also artists to approach this project differently, you know, to find either stories, either suggestions for projects from artistic perspective, you know, so having a different, let's say, platform from both sides. So from sides of citizens and from sides of artists. This is my perspective on this.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful perspective. Thanks for this insight. This is really enlightening, because for me it was normal to pay something every month.
Exactly.
But it is in your
That's what I wanted to say.
culture and
It's
reality,
not
not
everywhere,
it's
it's not
good to know.
everywhere the same. Definitely not.
Very valuable input,
Is this the project?
Yes, exactly.
I will certainly study organicity.
And just try to find as many as possible of results of the project.
Because what I've also seen, I might share it here if I find it.
Because it was also a lighthouse, so they made 2 calls also from that project. So we had sub-projects as well, you know. So we can find a lot of different results which are for free. You know, that's what EU funds are meant for.
For instance, here the sharing does not function very well, you know. Okay. Genau, muss ich nicht. Ich kann das trotzdem hinschicken, aber trotzdem, vielleicht, I will show it here. It's this one, Löwen. I think it's bad. And they are also an EU mission city. And the mayor there is also a signatory, EU Climate Pact ambassador. Because EU Climate Pact is also a very relevant program that we have to look into, because the EU has said we have the Green Deal, the big neutrality goal, but it's not enough if we in Brussels make big laws and big programs. It needs to be the buy-in, the support of the individuals, cities, companies, schools, NGOs, and therefore they have introduced the EU Climate Pact, where people say, yes, I want to be climate neutral, and then finding pathways. It's not really very operational, and I'm also one of the Austrian EU Climate Pact ambassadors, about 15 of us. But in Leuven, they have done a very interesting thing. They have, it's a multi-stakeholder initiative, so it's not something under the direction of the mayor. It is the citizens have come up, highly motivated individuals in different sectors, different organizations, and they have founded their own organization to support the sustainability efforts of the city. And I think that at a certain point, we might also want to speak with them, whether they would see a use using our Citizen Climate Action app, or to see what tools they already have, and also to ask them if they would like to pilot our digital art for climate, Patreon mechanisms of engaging citizens and giving them in exchange NFTs from artwork or NFTs from inspiring climate action stories. So this is perhaps a systemic precondition for our idea of mobilizing programs here in our cities, that we think of how to build these communities in the cities, which we then connect in a cross-border context and use our programs, because the city administrations, they cannot, it's not their mandate, and others are too weak, individual organizations. So we probably, blockchain helps also in setting up this kind of local communities. And it's systemic innovation, which gets complicated and more complicated. But I think we have to master this complicatedness, and we can master best in this as neighbors. If we are working on this together, if we can meet in person like here, then we can exchange learning experiences and making progress together, also co-develop something that is co-owned then also by all those who are here.
What we want to try to do in the pattern city,
yeah,
and we actually already started a little bit, and it's because in pattern until the end of high school, and a large number of them, and most of the primary schools in our city actually participate each year with their kids, is to build them interactive experiences. So when they visit Pattern City, they will be able to walk into the circle of circular economy, so to be engaged in interactive educational path, where they will, let's say, find out or figure out how they can, as an individual, how they can influence circular economy. So how one person can do that, but on the level of a kid. So I think, yeah, of course, we have to engage also adults, but the future is definitely kids. So they will have to have that already in their minds while growing up.
Yeah.
They should understand that. So then afterwards, let's say in 10 years' time, you will not have to engage your citizens that much.
Children's citizen science, sort of
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that about 5 years already now, and results are quite good. I mean, they're really happy to come back. We have different topics, and this circular economy will start now. And it's under this Green Leaf project of EU.
And for those activities, like the children, they would come to your place, or is it like mobile and you would go to them?
Exactly what I wanted to handle. In the end, this could be something that we could build there, try there, so we see and let's say finalize the development according to evaluations, and then it could be transferable. So we can figure out how to package this in very, let's say, simple way to transfer it into other cities. So that was actually a little bit of our goal. And also how to put it into metaverse, so it can be accessible from anywhere. So this kind of things, it can also be used for adults. Yeah. So where do you want to go to learn something? You go to the theme park, you go to a museum, which is very interactive, which is very, this is actually what we do, how to tell interactive stories in a very engaged, immersive way. And, talking about climate is very abstract to everybody. So not just kids, also to adults. So we have to figure out, and also art is very abstract to understand. So now you want to use abstract tool to tell abstract things. So it's quite a challenging thing, you know, to do.
Yeah, and this is very interesting, and I love your work. It's really where we build the climate safe future. It is in this kind of approaches and settings, and we are also convinced that we could use our Digital Art for Climate program for innovative climate action learning and the digital skills development, where we tell young people, look, have you seen this beautiful artwork from Digital Art for Climate? Like these sticker albums before, you can start doing your digital sticker album. And you tell them, would you like to have an NFT from one of the artworks from previous competitions? They say yes, and then we give it to them for free. And then in this educational context, we then tell them, if you would want to draw something, you can do it, and we help you to digitize it, and we show you how you mint it, and then they learn how to create an NFT from the artwork, and they see, oh, it's fun, it's interesting, and then this is registered in a global registry. Through this, it is not only individual effort or a local effort, but it becomes part of a global effort, and they feel important to a certain extent. And then we tell them, like you have now done it with the artwork, you can also have NFTs if you do something for the climate. For instance, for participating in a session about technology-enabled climate action learning, you receive the proof of attendance, and this is also in the global registry, and we send this kind of NFT to them, and then we say whatever you will do for the climate, you can get it verified and register it and collect a digital collectible around this, and then from this we help people to build a climate action legacy where they can document what they are doing, and with this kind of digital art for climate edutainment hub idea that we have, we think that this could be developed and then brought to schools all over the world. It could become part of
perfect idea. We spoke about that in Dubai already. The only question I have regarding this is that people still don't know the real value of having an NFT. So why would I have it?
Yeah, Tom perhaps can have something about kids and NFTs.
Yeah.
What is, does it resonate with kids or not?
Yeah, but first I think that we must clarify the meaning of an NFT. Because what is an NFT for you? You know, when, for example, NFT is a kind of a file, a kind of an archive. You know, when you listen to music, you don't say that you are listening an MP3. When you see a video, you don't say that you are watching an MP4. You are watching a movie. You are listening to jazz. You are listening reggaeton. You know, when you have a picture, you don't say that you are looking at a picture or an NFT. You are looking art in this case, if we are talking about art. For a kid, an NFT could be a weapon, could be a car, could be a plane for their game, for their digital game. For their kid, could be a collectible, you know? If you collect Pokemons, you know, a Pokemon could be an NFT in this case because you own the Pokemon and you can sell the Pokemon. So the NFT is not something, it's just the type of archive or file that we have.
Okay, that's very technical explanation. You know, I know all about that. What I'm questioning myself, and also probably all of us, is how to explain this very simply, without technical terms.
Okay, let's stop saying NFT, because at the end, the NFT is the technology, non-fungible token. That's very complex.
Yeah.
We are talking about digital collectibles, or we are talking about certificates of authenticity. So it depends. If you're buying a house and you're buying and you're paying in crypto, what are you going to get is an NFT, but that NFT is the certificate of authenticity of the house. Okay, so if you are buying a picture of your favorite photographer, you can buy the print, and that print is going to come with a paper signed by the artist saying it was printed in Klagenfurt in 2023, and this is authentic. But if you buy digital art, you can't have a paper. You have an NFT as a certificate of authenticity of that picture. So I collect digital art, and I know that the art that I own is authentic for the artist that I admire. So it's a new way to see things, you know, but the problem is that we demonize the NFT as a medium. So let's stop talking about NFT, it's not necessary. Let's talk about digital collectibles. Let's talk about art. Let's talk just about art. We are doing a digital art exhibition. So you want to buy this art? Of course, because that is a 3D or that is a virtual world. And to see that virtual world or to see that 3D sculpture, you can see it in the real life. You need to see it with an Oculus or in a TV. So if you want to own it, how do you own it?
But again, today, to find the let's say digital art that you can print out yourself on the internet for free, it's very simple.
Yes.
80% of people do that.
Cool. But I don't.
Exactly. But we want to make a change on this 80%.
Yeah, but how many people that you know collect art?
I'm not saying.
So we're talking about art.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is we are trying to give out art and collect something from citizens for that art.
Yes,
This is
yeah. Give and
get. But we are living in society where people are not prepared to pay for art. Not many people. Yeah. So it doesn't matter real art or digital art, because we are in the internet era where you can get like music for free, movies for free, everything is for free. So we have to figure out more, you know, something more that people will be prepared to pay for. You know, so I think for them will be more important to actually pay to have certified climate footprint of themselves. Maybe this could follow up a little bit more, you know, to find the story, how to tell that in a better way. You know, of course, art can still be included. Everything, you know, also projects, also good ideas, also solutions and stuff like that. Yeah, but I think we have to find a really good way to implement this idea, how important it is for us, individuals, to have a good, let's say, or the smallest climate footprint. You know?
So the problem at the end, the problem at the end is not the NFT.
No, of course not.
At the end,
but it's always on the top as a technology. You know?
How we empower culture, how we empower art in the citizens. It's about art and culture and how the society adopted. You know, because right now the culture is TikTok. You know, I guess people is more open to pay for a membership of their favorite TikTok to see exclusive content than buying art. No, it's true, because
they just watch.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends who are influencers, and they live thanks to their TikTok because they have 10 million followers. Imagine that 10K pay $20 monthly to see their exclusive content. They pay for my vacations. When I want to see my friends, my influencer friends, pay for my vacation.
I mean, yeah, of course, it's there. But if we are talking about on a global level, on different cultures, in different societies, we can't implement that. You know, let's say in Slovenia, you have just a couple of influencers. They don't live from that. Okay, so they are influencers in a virtual way. They receive some products, but they don't have like really big amounts of money, you know. So and also the language barrier, you know. So it's a small market. Everybody have different conditions so we have to find some sort of a universal way of giving opportunity to everybody to participate.
I'm going to ask you another question.
Yes.
I asked you first, how many people do you know that collect art? You say that few people.
Yeah,
almost. Okay. So how many artists do you know?
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. What does those artists do with their art?
Sorry?
What does the artists that you know do with their art?
They try to sell it.
Physical, right?
In all sorts of ways. Yeah.
But if yes.
Also digital.
Digital design for
How they are selling it?
Also through NFTs and stuff like that. I know
artists
do
do
that.
it. Okay.
So I know different ways. I mean, I know artists that sell their art in different ways. Okay. You want
No,
to ask
that was
more?
my question because nobody knows enough collectors, but everybody knows a lot of artists. So I think that, well, my purpose here, you know, I'm an art promoter, a poster promoter.
No, I think what you're doing is actually great. I'm not trying to, please don't understand me in the wrong way. I'm not trying to exclude that. I'm trying to give it a better role because I mean I'm in tech 30 years, you know, and then it's always a buzzword.
Can I say from a practical
Yeah,
perspective,
sure.
somebody who's actually now worked in a couple of these projects, right? Blockchain is a very good word to use in these meetings.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely terrible way to go outside to the public. Okay? So blockchain for here, great, but it needs to be in the background because adoption's not there, right? So everything that I try to do, my biggest problem in all of my projects, and has not been to actually technically execute connecting blockchain and writing competencies on the system. It's how we can securely and safely then hide everything away from the user so that they don't even know, hopefully, that they're using blockchain in the background, but that they get all of the benefits without ever knowing. That's why I think it's, yes, this was my concern with the NFT art especially, because there has been such a big bust compared to where it was, right? Of the art, again, you have a platform. You know that it works in a certain system, but how you package it, I don't think it should be the main goal. Like it can't be get in exchange for contributing to climate initiatives, we are going to give you art. No, art should be a side product. It should be something cool, unique that you can collect, that maybe you can compare with somebody else, and you can say, "Oh, I was there as well." Like you said, promote the artists in that way. But if that is the ultimate goal, if that is your ultimate reward, especially if marketed as NFT to the general public, I don't think you're reaching where you should be reaching, right? I think if you want local initiatives to succeed, you need to give local rewards from local businesses, local governments maybe subsidizing these things. So say, okay, if we are going to invite a local business that produces and manufactures things here, and you're gonna get a 10% discount if you are a part of our system, right? Something like that, right? And maybe then the government can subsidize something like this. It's gonna support businesses, it's gonna support the local economy and the environment and everything, right? And then get these local artists as a reward for you participating on the side, something. So that's your badge, that's your icon for that participating month, but that's a bonus on the top, right? Something cool on the top of something practical.
Something which is collectible. Yeah. Which
Something
is really
collectible,
cool to have.
yes. But local action is you're gonna want to give localized rewards, right? I think.
Yeah, that's what I was talking with Leo yesterday, because what does an artist want? Or money or exposure? Okay, in this moment, I think that we can give money because we are working without funds, but maybe from the government side, we can give exposure. Imagine that in the main square of your city or in the office where the mayor works, I don't know, that we can sponsor or pay for 3 TVs, and in your city, 3 more TVs, and in Klagenfurt, 3 more TVs. So the competition here is that the winners are going to be exhibited in 3 cities at the same time. And if we do an agreement with the cafeteria downstairs, the cafeteria host could have another TV. And in the cafeteria, in the main square of Klagenfurt, your art is going to be exhibited. So you're going to be exhibited for 1 month in Klagenfurt, 1 month in your city, 1 month in your city. So we have now content and something to empower artists or local artists to keep creating, because somebody is taking care of them, you know, somebody is taking their work for being exhibited. And who knows? Then the city can have a digital art collection. And we are not going to sell this piece in $1,000. Maybe we are going to have 3 copies of each and $20 each. And the artist is going to have $50 because $10 are going to go to GloCha, for example. So when we have 50 cities, GloCha is going to have $500 from the artists from the art of 50 cities. You know, I'm talking about, because the first step, we have to do it, you know, we have to move on. And I think that if we want to include art, we have to do something with art. Of course, that we can do a lot of more things, like with the economy, with the local businesses, with the, I don't know, you are the guys who knows the political people in your country and in your cities, you know. But when we talk about art, we can do small things for those artists who show their art only in Instagram and they don't receive nothing, to empower them to participate in the creator economy, because out there is a creator economy. If we put their art in the platform where I work, we have a 20,000 database of collectors. Maybe one of these artists, one of these Slovenian artists, sell 1 piece. That's a win for all of us, you know. That's a win because we made that possible. So I believe in art and in culture as a medium to move the world forward. So I think that we can do little things. Let's not call it anymore NFTs. Let's call it digital collectibles. Let's make the open call in these 3 cities for artists, for local artists. Let's meet them. You know, let's see how many artists do we have in each city. Maybe we are going to get surprised. Maybe we are going to say, oh, there's only 10 artists in the 3 cities. Maybe, who knows? We need to explore. We need to know who is out there doing stuff. You know, in these cities, there are a lot of students. There are a lot of young people. There must be some students between them, some artists between them. I think that that's the thing, you know, make those creative minds to do something. You know, and I think that we have the power to.
It doesn't exclude anything what we are talking about here. And what I wanted to say, and Peter also explained it a little bit different way, is that if we are doing this and if we are connecting to cities and we are kind of creating new ways of engaging citizens, we should use that, especially because of climate, you know, we should use that also for other things. You know, it shouldn't be just art. Because cities will try to find a lot of different ways how to engage their citizens on many different levels. So it should become something which is very flexible and simple, you know, because art can be like that, you know, and it's also, as you said, entertainment. Yeah. So we are teaching a little bit, and people are having fun with it, and artists getting their exposure, but at the end, cities are becoming net zero free, you know? So this is our formula. So how to then, you know, create this formula work? Also for cities governments. Not every city government really understands, you know, it's just a badge for them. I don't know, maybe in Klagenfurt is a little bit better. For us, you know, it's a really nice green badge. You know, we have 2 of them now. We are really cool, you know, and but real force behind it to actually really create the change, really to go towards net zero because you want to go there, because you want to live in better environment. That's something else. You know, so changing the culture, creating new society.
So my question now will be, what kind of resources can we have, for example, in your city? For example, I mean, can we have free advertisements in the bus stops? Can we have free advertisement in the local TV channel?
Advertising is not free.
Okay, so what we can have, what we can, or maybe paying.
But it's not true. There are, in the USA is public service advertising.
But let's say a gallery in the city center can easily be accessible for artists. And it's really cool to
identify places.
That's why
I know.
Yes, that's why I put the example of a massive, something massive, you know, because if we have the bus stop, that I don't know, 100 people daily or more are going to be in that bus stop. And if the bus stop has this advertisement, which are videos, I don't know, maybe it's a static one. But maybe it's video, maybe instead of doing an open call for art, we can do an open call for short movies, like 10-second short movies about the environment. And who knows, putting that during 1 month, how many people are going to see the same message?
In our city, that's very simple to actually get these kind of things. If you want to have exposure on a culture level, it's very easy because city really takes care of culture being alive constantly and being accessible to their citizens. As I said before, most of the events are for free. You know? So more of a problem definitely is how to engage them for climate change. You know, so I see education here is a very, very important, has a very important role. You know, so we have to involve also, we have to educate people why and what they gain. You know, and that the results will not be visible immediately. That's the hardest thing.
That's the hardest thing.
That's
it's against the human brain.
Exactly. So if I move this here, it's here now. You know, it's not going to move when I left, when I'm gone. You know? So yeah.
Let me remind you, I shared the application that we applied together with the open call INTERREG SI-AT Austria. What actually we were proposing, it was a citizen engagement application to fight and to engage fighting climate change. And there, one pillar was digital art for climate. And all what you know we're speaking, but we have more pillars.
Yes, there are more pillars.
Yeah. And what concretely these more pillars means, not just helping understand, and I will get back to the knowledge and understanding, but also to incentivize, concretely incentivize, and I will not take you too much time, I will just tell you one concrete example. We said we will try to develop such an application which will measure lowering of CO2 emission of each household in the town. What it means that, for example, if the household will put the solar panel on the roof, we will have the sensors measuring how it was before, how it's after. Then you start to have your own electricity and the delta of CO2 emission you did. Of course, this is now first phase is that you showcase this because you don't have anything else It's a proof that you lower your CO2 emission to this. And this is also, you can get a badge, you can here. But we know that serious solutions are on the way. Serious solutions related to carbon emission trading systems, where we know the regulation is coming, where for now it was just big giants who had to pay and who were getting the coupons. Now this is going on the level of medium, small, micro companies and also to the citizens. In Slovenia now we have legislation on the way, where such an application, then on the end, what they will do to you. When you will have application proven, measured, you will be able to change these tokens of rewards for real money. And on the end, believe me, it should be also such a incentivization, because from the citizen point of view, if I'm investing to the solar panel, to the batteries, everything, where I will be getting also some incentives. But also we envision in that project majority of the activities, soft activities for education. To who? To the city officials, to understand it. You know, you guys understand what it means for the solution. They don't understand it. If they don't understand, they will not decide to do that. But also then to the end users, to the common citizens, they don't have this knowledge. Of course, we can prepare the solutions which are easy to use, but also this was quite important part of the application. Unfortunately, we didn't succeed, but to help you understand, actually we were trying to do these first steps. I know in 5 years it will be a lot of such applications on the way. Here we were front runners, we still are. Adoption is a problem, everything else as discussed, but I'm really looking forward to some concrete solutions that they will be implemented. Maybe I can share some of one of use cases that Miroslav will know from Serbia, city of Niš. They developed, it's also, you know, Branko Kosmanović, his small startup, they developed the application City and Me, incentivizing people firstly to use the bicycles instead of cars, then to walk instead of driving, then to do some concrete ecological activities, but giving them tokens that they now step by step can, you are asking what the city is giving, they can use municipality cinema, for example. This is the first steps. But here then, the biggest breakthrough for them was that they find a niche of collaboration using this application with the managers of the big build of the blocks, where the people are you know, like taking care about the big facility, how it's in English? Apartments. Yeah. Why? Because they really need to communicate with them. They have to, on some soft way, to communicate with them. How will you do with the garbage? How will you do some activities like community micro activities? And through this, they combine this application with Viber sub possibilities, and they have now, I think, in the city of Niš with 300,000 inhabitants, 90,000 citizens of Niš using this application. But mostly it is because that solution part with Viber, it's so informative for them that this is the main reason. On the other side, the city and and companies who are trying to directly then on the right, let's say 21st century time way to inform, to communicate with the citizens, it's this viable type of application. And of course they are really interested to share this application, they have it prepared to scale it up, and of course, Miroslav, I will additionally connect them with you, because, for example, here I see that this application can be now implemented without any additional investment in whatever country you have. We just need the organization or consortium behind, translate it into the English or into the language, because now they have it in Serbian, in that case in Austrian, start to roll.
Yeah,
sorry that I was a little bit longer, but through this, we are coming back to this. The final solution proven on the market is finding these pilot types of activities that we discussed, but on the end, in 1.5 years, they developed the application which is actually rolling, and I think the only investment they get from Google was 20,000 euros. It's nothing comparing to for example, if we would be speaking about what would be, I know in the project that we proposed, it was some 300,000 euros envisioned to develop that application. So actually from the bottom up, develop, upgrade it, and then put it on the market.
Yeah, this is very valuable knowledge and really a pathway towards action and impact. So that's really a solution which is being taken up and is leading to concrete emission reductions. And just what I wanted to share also in terms of what this cross-border cooperation has as its aim is this. The first meeting we had in January was focused on this center as a research and digital innovation development center, and there we had also the topic that we will deliver digital solutions and services for energy transition and microclimate entrepreneurship and climate action gamification based on innovative multi-factor carbon credit schemes. So multi-factor carbon credit schemes that we should keep in mind, so that we will build the knowledge base and the tool set that whatever people are doing, that we help them to get it as a certified credit. Once the systems for individual carbon footprint management and emission trading and so come, that people will have the tools that when they do something good, that they feel it in the pocket. This kind of things, or that they feel it at our festival in some games, that they have really received games because they've had the most impactful actions, the most impactful ideas and action proposals. So this kind of
can I just ask,
please,
what kind of carbon credit schemes do you have in mind? Because I know the legislation, so there's this ETS and non-ETS sectors. And ETS is going to include transport and buildings, but it's on the level of providers of fuel. It's not on the level of citizens.
I will share you the article explaining that ministry started to prepare the implementation of the legislation, and you will see which part of it and what it will be. I will share it.
And as we now already crossed the borders, the timeline that the schedule, we are not bound by the schedule, but just in general, that to give it a frame, I have put together.
Sorry, Miro, can I just one last sentence? I just wanted to say, don't get me wrong, that I'm not against this digital for art and NFTs.
Sure.
Definitely not. I think it's a great idea.
The question how.
Yeah, exactly. Let's try to figure it out. And of course, we can't do everything for cities. They will have to do it themselves. But because I'm coming from that kind of a city, I wanted to share this because we will get to a lot of different kind of stories.
Yeah.
from cities.
Yeah.
And
We have to be prepared to learn.
and you know, I really wanted to succeed also in Belém,
Yeah.
but it's big possibility it will never succeed. You know? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find other ways also, but within that idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
sharing.
you are doing great work, and I think perhaps this cooperation framework and resource mobilization framework that we are building here might help add social energy to your work.
Yeah.
That there are people who, after a certain time, would get tired and say, I will do something different. That from this comparison with other cities and the prospect to show it at the festival, and so staying motivated and say, oh, I will invest a little bit more time and energy because I might win something that is in the cross-border context relevant. And in this sense, I would like to draw everyone's attention. So that we to have a shared understanding of in which direction we are going. And so my proposal is that we have conclusions and that we say we welcome this effort of having this cross-border cooperation and that we the initiative to set up cooperation and resource mobilization framework for cities, citizens, youth, and climate action and digital innovation. Very general, welcoming the idea, so to say, and that we agree to have a city-level digital art for climate edition in Klagenfurt and Velenia. We will see if in Kranin and Ljubljana we can find the support for this idea, but we say Klagenfurt and Velenia we can cover, and that we then bring the citizens, artists, educators, cities to GloCha Co-Creation Festival. 2024, let's correct this, and here participating cities to GloCha Co-Creation Festival 2024. We will next year probably have it in St. Primus am Thunersee. There we've had already this year a reserved cultural center with nice auditorium, seminar rooms, and many accommodation opportunities in the surrounding villages, and it's a Carinthian-Slovenian Cultural Association, so good for the cooperation with Slovenia. So this location we don't write here, but we agreed to have city-level Digital Art for Climate Edition and cooperation festival participation from these cities, and then we are thinking and communicating via email or however to identify local partners and resources, like Tom has asked who could help with advertisement or whatever in these cities, and to look at resources and organize meetups with all relevant stakeholders on local level, especially with the artists. Probably it would be best. So we are planning to launch the Digital Art for Climate program in December at the COP in Dubai, but that we would have, let's say, in October or November, a meetup.
We can facilitate.
In Belém, inviting the artists, youth organizations, educators, that they say that we present the ideas and they might give us feedback how we can improve our concept, so that when we do the call for submissions or so, that we have already some feedback integrated from them.
Maybe you can do a workshop.
Yes, that would be also in city. Yes, yes, that would be.
I have done it like for 3 years. You know, it's 20 minutes theory, 20-minute theory, and I don't know, 30 minutes of questions and answers, and we can do an exercise at the end of how to meet, how to create a wallet. You know, super easy, and in that way, designers, artists, and whoever wants to know about it can go to learn.
Can you come end of the August?
At the end of August?
Yeah, we have like 23 years old festival, Kunigunda, which is actually alternative art festival, one of the rarest in Slovenia, and a lot of artists come there, especially the ones that are really trying to, push their art out in the market or, through to the public. So they will be more than interested to listen to you, to get to know you, to get to know the technology and how easy it is actually to do it with your tools.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
I even have two thoughts. One about digital art, how to mint, why to mint, how this technology helps creators, and the other one is how to create art communities.
Yeah. And that could be a little simple start.
Yeah.
Concrete. Yeah.
Wonderful. No, this is great.
I'll send you already connect to LinkedIn. So
let's do it.
Perfect. Yeah, and then another point, we will try to get funding for the cooperation from EU sources, Kärntner Kulturstiftung and all. So I would say for awards, local awards, the participating cities, local stakeholders should make sure that there will be something for the Digital Art for Climate platform, and this kind of costs we will, as long as we don't have external funding, we will certainly secure this, but we will try to get somewhere substantial funding. And then we agreed to present the cooperation at the UN Climate Conference COP28. We can organize a press conference, nice with background logos of United Nations and everything. And there we demonstrate the leadership of these cities. I think it can be a beautiful story. And then we can have also workshops or showing something at the Slovenian pavilion in the green zone, and in general that we declare we be partners and friends.
Also MetaCop.
Yes, in the MetaCop as well.
For the one who will be online.
Yeah. So
and there it's actually much easier to present the art. We can actually in MetaCop we can present the whole package of art being collected by them.
Yeah.
What is the MetaCop?
It's a virtual cop.
Okay.
And we will have to find somehow a balance between
space.
between what Daniel is doing and what Bo is doing.
Exactly. So it's not just 40 square meters.
It's limitless. Yeah. Now, if you agree, and it isn't, then I would say we approve it with acclamation. I would say thank you once again, and we will meet on the meetups in October or November in the participating cities.
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Miroslav, to bring us together.
Bravo, everyone! Thanks. See you soon.